Hi, I'm Sean Canning, Principal Architect at 1070 Architecture, and today I'm going to talk about the feather development. So the feather development is a project where we're taking an existing home with a large backyard, and we're going to put two duplexes of ADUs behind the existing home. This brings the total unit count to 5. By doing this, we're adding 4 units into San Diego's housing stock. So this helps greatly with the housing crisis. We are using the ADU bonus program, which means 1/4 of the new units are going to be rented at affordable rates. But an important distinction here is while we're using the ADU bonus program, we're not abusing the ADU bonus program. So in total, we're really only adding 4 units. This project is designed in a modern style. So we have vaulted ceilings on the second story, and we have a first floor unit below. So it's basically first floor, 1 bedroom and 1 bath unit, with a second story, 1 bedroom, 1 bath unit over the top. And when you do this, there's some considerations with that flooring material. So you want to make sure that you have a 1-hour fire rating in that floor. You also want to make sure you have a 50 sound transmission class and a 50 impact isolation class so that the tenants below don't hear the tenants walking around or dropping things on the floor above. And that's a requirement anytime you have one unit over another. We do keep these structures to duplexes rather than triplexes or greater because that allows for some more exterior space, which we consider an ideal in San Diego. But it also allows us to keep the construction fairly simple, and it reduces the permit fees to the greatest extent possible because the combination permit is basically your best bet for these types of infill development permit projects. A couple other features I want to point out on this one. While it is a 1 bedroom unit, we did sneak a pretty large walk-in closet here. We have a galley kitchen and we have a 3/4 bathroom, so there's no tub in these units. That helps keep our plumbing fixture count low. Although on part of this project, we did have to upgrade the water meter, which requires a right-of-way permit, and we have to coordinate all of that with our architectural drawings. Both units, first floor and second floor, have exterior space. So the second floor has a balcony and the ground floor has a large patio. And while the exterior of the structure is all stucco, which achieves the 1-hour fire rating required, we did use a contemporary color scheme. So it's a two-tone color scheme around the exterior of the building. One of the biggest challenges on this project was coordinating the exterior balcony because there's no posts on this balcony. So we have these large cantilevered balconies, which all had to be worked through our structural engineer. And then we had to make sure it was all coordinated with the architectural set. And the balconies extend like 8 feet without a post, so it's pretty significant. This project was finished around $375 a square foot, and we were lucky to have a great client and a great contractor on this one. And in our experience, that generally makes for a great project.
My name is Jesse Stoner. I'm the owner of Urban Builders. We're a general contractor here in San Diego, and we specialize in ADUs. Well, the construction of this project was nice because there are 4 identical units, and also the simple shed roof design where you have water flowing just from one side made it very easy for us to construct. And then the vaulted ceilings upstairs, even though they're 500 square foot units, they really make the upper units feel spacious because you have so much height in that ceiling. So this project, the utility connections, very similar with all of these projects. That's the hardest thing for us to coordinate. And so we had a upgrade to the water meter here, and then we also had to add a multi-meter for the fourplex. And so requesting SDG&E, getting involved in that as early as possible, I always recommend to clients because that process can take much longer than expected. And so we try to get that process started, and then we work closely with SDG&E to get everything ready so that by the time the units are built, we can get that connection made as soon as possible. So a lot of architects, they get their design finished, they get permitted, and then they kind of move on. Working with Sean and his entire team, we love working with them because they're always easy to communicate with. We get direct responses about our questions and our requests for information. And then they're just very hands-on through the whole project. So once they give us their drawings, we have a good understanding of how they design. And so we just simply try to meet that design and the client's requirements as closely as we can.